we talk about today's topic, the role of Kalyanamitra in our chant practice. As we know, Kalyanamitra referring to a virtuous friend, good friend, or spiritual friend. And they are good friends, they are a good teacher, and they could help us in spiritual growth. From the concepts, and also they could give us some advice, encouraging us and helping us. In Buddhism, we put more emphasis on the importance of the Kalyanamitra, Kalyanamitra. Put emphasis on that, a virtuous friend. And in the sutras, they also mention the so-called the great spiritual friend, virtuous friend. That is referring to the eminent monks, the great bodhisattvas. It is like in the Avatamsaka Sutras. Then there is a figure named Sudana. He started out with Manjusri Bodhisattva, yet Manjusri Bodhisattva advised him to visit different places, different teachers, and he visited 53 great bodhisattvas, and every one of them will help him, give him advice on the method they're practicing, and also teachings in theories, so that he could grow, so that to let his wisdom grow and compassion grow also. So they give you a significant guidance on that. And those are the bodhisattva, or the great bodhisattva, that help Sudana to reach Buddhahood. Of course, as we know, the bodhisattva, or the great spiritual path, the great spiritual friends, is our Buddha as well. Besides the great virtuous friend, we also have the so-called virtuous friends, and they could be anywhere, and they could be anyone that could help us. It doesn't matter what way they're helping us. They are all our virtuous friends. Now, what I'm referring to, what way is that? Sometimes they will use a way that is more, you could say it's more stern, is harsh a very harsh way. And they could be our elders, our colleagues, and our juniors. That's possible, as long as they let us grow, let our personality grow. And in growth, besides that, grow our wisdom. And they let us have a peace of mind, even harmony in the family, and even helping us in our career. So those are the general Kalyanamitra in our life, in our daily life, in our relationship with dealing with people, and they become our benefactors. Another kind of virtuous friends refers to someone could open up our wisdom in the Buddha Dharma, and someone that could lead or could reveal to us the direction to the final goal, and to give us Dharma and benefit. We benefit from Dharma. And that is to say, they encourage us to hear, to read, to know about the Dharma, and also to practice. And so that we could accomplish the Buddha path. And this is the so-called the spiritual friend that is on that's helping us on the path of reaching Buddhahood. And if we have spiritual friends, referring to good friends, but also we may encounter the so-called evil friends, bad friends. So if we are friends with them, and somehow it's very easy for us to commit crimes like killing, like commit arson, robbery, well, we could refer to them as bad, very bad friends. And maybe we want to use this term for what we're doing is as like they are fair weather friend, or they are just a set of rogues. So if we are with them, then all we do is that idle away our time in pleasure seeking. And we commit all sorts of crimes. And if we continue on to be with them, then we probably suffer through the thorough defeat. We will fail anything. Therefore, other people will not want to be with us, even closer to make friends with us, because they will think that we are in the same, or we are just like this. We are just like the same thing with the other, other evil friends there. But for the bad friends, it doesn't mean that it's forever, that they never change. But if somehow we could use the teaching of the Buddha so that to help them to change their way of thinking, and then continue to help many other peoples, then they will become good friends for other people. So that doesn't mean that, you know, the evil friends will be evil friends forever, as long as they could change themselves. Then it's possible that they will become our virtuous friends. Is a term called the return of a prodigal son, right? So this is something about Kalyamitras, that in the practice of chant, they could help us along the way too. I'll go on in more detail with the questions. So the question goes like this: when we practice chant in a group sitting, what are the advantage and who will receive benefit and why? Well, we need to know for sure or believe that practicing in a group will build a very strong power. And this is because in the group, our mental state or our spirit is very, you can say that this mental state and the other people's mental state become a very big force or big strength, that because we are practicing the chant and we are heading for this the same directions, so it will become a resonance. It resonates. Now this resonance here doesn't mean that you could hear the sound, you could feel it. And this is a kind of power that's there. It is likened to the example of when we do retreat in Medan or in Indonesia. At the end, we usually light the candle, right? Now, if one candle, when we light the candle, the light is that small amount. But when 45 people together, everyone with a candle, and we lit it up, then the brightness, it will be brighter, right? So you could say that one person's practice is kind of weak. The strength is not strong enough. And if we have a group of people that practicing together, naturally, the feeling of the environment, the settledness of the environment will be very strong. And when it's time for sharing, that you may feel like we are in a group that is together. It is just likened to the compass. You know, the compass always pointing to the north, right? So even though sometimes it moves a bit, but it always pointing to the north. So it is a similar analogy of the group practice together. Yes, maybe some people will have wandering thoughts, but some other people sitting well. So in that case, it just makes the whole environment become very settled. And that is the power of practicing together. If we practice together, then we form this power. It's just like in the family, we have our parents, we have our brothers and sisters. Now, if something happened to someone and the family members, and as long as the tie of the family is very strong, then naturally we will just feel it right away. And it's not something mystical, but it's just like we are well connected together. Just like in Dharma Drum Mountain, in the beginning, we started out, very small. But because many people are very much drawn to the teachings of our Sugong, and gradually, actually, they started out. Most of the time is to have a retreat. That's what Sugong did. Retreat, longer retreat, 7 days, 10 days, something like that. And gradually, the more and more people come, and more people get together, and it becomes like we start from zero, and now it grows to be quite big. And just because of the light, a small lamp together, and more, and it becomes very bright. And it is starting out from each person's mindset of practicing together. That becomes very strong. An example of, in the scientists had discovered that many trees that grow together, they form a very strong connections. It is not that trees are competing to get nutrients, but actually trees share vital goodies through a secret underground network. That is the say underground networks. The roots, they could share. They could share nutrients with each others, and if it works in a way that if one tree has more than enough, it will share to the other one. Very interesting. Just if you look in the search, you'll find that, and therefore they grow together very strongly. And when it comes to typhoon or a hurricane, if it is in a group of trees, usually they will stay. It's not easy for them. Maybe they just waver, but it's not easy for them to just break and fall down. And it's the same token with the practice, the group practice together. That one person's practice, sometimes they feel lazy, and it's easy for them to just lacking of. But if we come to the group practice together and we build the bond together, then it's not easy for us to, stray away, right? And the second question is that if we practice among ourselves without being led by Shifu or other fascists, how can we progress? Whom to consult? When we are in the situation where we don't have a teacher to really guide us, or monastics to guide us, well, if you're really in this situation, then you could just form a group that are practicing together, studying together, just like Bakagus, he came years ago, he came to the Dharma Drum Retreat Center to attend retreat. And then when he go back to his place, he just gathered people and share Dharma, that's all. He never said that he's a teacher, but just share together and meditate together. And gradually more and more people come. Now, but he never give up the practice. And if he did not have anyone to consult, then the group, he will be leading the group and also consult. Now, nowadays easier, we have books, but books is not enough, but it's better. We have sutras, we have many Buddhist books now. And also Bakagus started out from one book, translate one book about Sukong to begin with, getting the Buddha mind. Is that right? And then later on, more and more books come out. And we could always do that. So we may choose someone in a group that is more learned to begin with, if that person is willing to do so. And then we could, nowadays it's easier to search on the website to find the teachings. But sometimes the teaching is it's not enough, because it's not a live person that really guiding you. But whatever you have available right there, then we just go.